evening. Welcome to yoga. My name is Danielle. I want to thank you for joining me for this live stream Comeback Yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization that meets veterans where they're at. And sometimes that means offering classes at home. This is a level 2 class. And there's not much difference in the way that at least I teach a level 2 class between the level 1 and the level 2 as far as intensity is concerned. The difference lies in the instruction. You might hear less instruction in a level 2 class. We are going to do low back and hips tonight. And if you've ever taken a class with me before, you know that I cue 2 yoga blocks on a yoga strap for every class. You don't have to stress if you don't have those things available. You can use couch cushions or throw pillows or bed pillows if we're using the blocks to pad the joints. If we're using the blocks to add height, you can use a study book. And you don't need a yoga strap. You can use a necktie, a belt, a towel. And I will cue the props. You will more than likely see me use the props. But they're just there to make the poses more accessible. So you don't have to use them all. This might feel like a pretty typical yoga class, probably very similar to other ones you've taken before. The difference is going to, again, lie in the instruction because comeback yoga classes are taught from a trauma-informed perspective. So there are different instructions and also different tools that we use. For instance, before we even get going, I want you to just take a look around and get oriented to your space. Notice what's close to your space. Know where your exits are to your space. If there is something that you can do to make yourself even 10% more comfortable, do that now. Maybe that means changing the position of your yoga mat so you're facing your exits instead of having your back to them. If it makes you feel more comfortable to have a phone handy while we practice, have one available. Just have it face down so it doesn't distract you as we begin to move. So we're going to go ahead and start in a seated position. And you can kind of create a little perch with your blocks or props, whatever you've got going on, especially if you have low back tension or tightness in the hips. When you come to sit up on your little perch, your hips are completely supported. Now that, again, you don't need to sit up on a perch. You can just go ahead and take an easy seat, cross at the ankles, and let the knees fall open wide. From here, think about creating some length in your spine. So press your sitting bones down into the mat or your props. Reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Keep all that length in your spine, but relax your shoulders away from your ears. And you can rest your hands where they're comfortable. Maybe the palms of your hands to your knees, maybe draped across your lap, maybe even just dangling down by your side. From here, begin to notice how you're breathing this evening. Just notice your inhales, notice your exhales. And if your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, start to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow and a steady inhale through your nose, fill your lungs with air, and then open up your mouth, sigh all of your air out. Good, do another like that. Inhale, fill up to the top. Exhale, sigh out. And then seal your lips and begin to inhale through your nose and out of your nose. There might be a slight constriction at the back of your throat. It'll sound like an ocean wave, or kind of like you're trying to fog up a mirror with your breath. Begin to deepen and slow down the rhythm of your breath. So take a nice, slow, and steady inhale through your nose. Follow it by an even slower and steadier exhale out of your nose. Work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Soften your muscles, the hinge of your jaw, and scan your body from head to toe. Take note of any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore. And be mindful of those areas as we begin to move and practice. Take one more deep breath in, fill up. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Nice. Now, if you are sitting up on a perch, go ahead, remove your props over to the side. And we're going to stay in this easy seat, but we're going to take a seated cat-cow. So you can actually go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open wide. And then take your hands to your shins and once again create length in your spine. Sitting bones down, crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Your next inhale is a cow pose. Shift your chest forward. Your gaze goes up to the ceiling. Your throat is open. Exhale, round your spine and tuck your chin for cat. Good, do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine for cat. Good, do one more. Inhale and exhale. And then when you come back to center, let's go ahead and come into an easy seat again. And we're going to counter that with a seated twist. So give you a side view of what that looks like. Bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind your low back, and allow your left shoulder to roll open and back. From here, you decide where to take your gaze. Maybe it's forward. Maybe you align your chin with your chest. Or maybe you take your gaze past your left shoulder. Always be mindful of your neck in a twist. Take one more inhale, and exhale, come through center. Left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Roll your right shoulder open and back. You decide where to take the gaze, forward, chin to chest, or past your right shoulder. Take an inhale, and exhale, come through center. Good, we're gonna make our way to hands and knees, however you'd like to get there. And once you are in that position, we're setting up for a tabletop. That's a nice neutral spine. So think about stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Your next inhale is a cow pose. Belly lowers and gaze goes forward. Your exhale is cat. Round your spine, take your gaze down. Good, so just like our seated cat-cow. Inhale, cow pose. Just in a different shape. Exhale, round your spine for cat. Good, now start to take these movements on your own breath. Feel free to stay a bit longer in one of the poses, especially if it gives your spine a good stretch. Good. You can stay with these breaths. You can take other movements to open up. Sometimes it feels nice to circle your hips or look over your shoulders. But there is no right or wrong here, so just go where your body wants to go. And if you find a tight spot, stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Then slowly come on back to center to tabletop, that neutral spine. We're going to set up for our first downward facing dog. Curl your toes, send your hips high, press your thighs back. And it might feel nice to ease into this first one with movement. Go ahead, walk your dog. Sway your hips, and really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times, shake it no. Just allow the crown of your head to be heavy and weighted down. Now start to walk your hands back towards your feet. We're at the back of the mat here. Maybe you take either a soft or a very generous bend to your knees. And hands can come down to the mat, or hands can reach up and grab for opposite elbows. Good, now you can do this pose in stillness. You can start to add movement by swaying side to side. You choose. And take one more inhale. And on your exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Keep that soft or generous bend to your knees and roll up to standing slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are the last to come up. Nice. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat in our mountain pose. We'll start to link our breath with movement. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead, extended mountain pose. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Come back to that tabletop flat back. And then exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll do 2 more of those. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, soft, bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands to shins, shine the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good, 1 more round. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale, come on up. And exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll just add on from there. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Plant your palms and step back to downward facing dog. Now on your next inhale, come up high onto your toes, shift forward to plank, the top of a push-up, and pause here. Now on your exhale, we're coming down to the floor. You can always bring your knees down first. Everything hits the mat, tops of the feet are flat. Inhale to a baby cobra. Lift up your chest, roll your shoulder heads back. And then exhale, come down. Press up your hands and knees for this first one. Find your downward facing dog. Good, hips go high, thighs press back. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, elongate your spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold and release. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. And then exhale, come on down, knees lifted or lowered. Inhale to a cobra pose. Press down to the tops of the feet. Like a wave, lift your chest and loop your shoulders at the top. Exhale, release. Find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop. You choose. Take an inhale as we hold. Stay for the exhale. Let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Exhale, soft bend to your knees and fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, find downward facing dog. Take an inhale as we hold. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Good. Now come on down to hands and knees. And setting up for tabletop again. This time the right leg's going to go long. And the right toes are going to lift up off the mat. Good. Toes point down so hips stay neutral. On your inhale, press your heel away from you like you are trying to kick a wall behind your right heel. On your exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips. Take your gaze past your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. Good, do it again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend knees, stack hips. Inhale, back to center, extend. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. Good. Inhale, reach your right leg long. Exhale, left fingertips reach forward. Pull your low belly up and in and find length by reaching through your fingers and your toes. We're gonna hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand and knee come down. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let that go. Good. Come back to center. Left leg goes long. Left toes lift up. Inhale, press your left heel away. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Gaze past your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest. Hold. Good. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, bend knees, stack hips. Inhale, back to center, reach long again. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, knee to chest, hold. Good. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, right fingertips forward. Pull your low belly up and in. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and knee come down. And then do a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Send your hips toward your heels. Your forehead can rest down to the mat, to one of your yoga props. Or you can make a little pillow out of your forearms and rest your forehead there. Consider this home base. What that means is that this pose is available to you the whole time that we're practicing. If you become fatigued, if you lose your breath, if I call out a pose and it's just not working in your body today, know that you can return to child's pose to reground and to reconnect. Take one more inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Let it go. Good. Come back to hands and knees. And then we're going to find downward facing dog. Curl your toes, send your hips high, press your thighs back. Good. Inhale and breathe your right leg high and back. On your exhale, bend your knee and stack your hips. It might feel nice to circle your ankle or circle your knee. If you prefer stillness, let the right heel get heavy towards the left side of the mat and you'll feel your top hip fan open. Re-square your hips, bring your knee into your chest, look forward. Bring your right foot between your right thumb. And then drop your back heel down. On your next inhale, the left arm guides you up to a warrior 2. On your exhale, take a moment to adjust your stance. See if you can widen your stance by bringing your front leg more parallel to the mat. And then let your tailbone drop. Now reach your fingers so far away from you, it feels like your arms could grow another inch. Keep the length in the arms. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Good, look forward, flip your palm, and on your next inhale, reverse. Right arm up and over your ear. On your exhale, elbow down to thigh, top arm up and over your ear, extended side angle. And we'll go through that a few more times. Inhale, reverse, strong legs. Exhale, extended side angle. One more, inhale. And exhale. Good, now we're gonna hang out here for a bit. So use your elbow as a lever, rotate your chest to the side. Press down firmly into your back heel as you reach your pinky finger up and overhead. Now for some of you, depending on shoulder mobility, it might look more like this. The goal is to do this because we're trying to breathe into that left rib cage. Find some length and expansion. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, come back, warrior 2. Hands to hips, straighten your front leg. All 10 toes point forward, tee out your arms. Inhale, press down into your feet. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. As soon as your hands come down to the mat, take a soft or generous bend to your knees. Shift all of your weight to the ball mounds of your feet. This is going to send your tailbone high. The crown of the head is weighted down so there's length in the back of your neck. And as the sensation begins to build, send your breath there. What can you soften? What can you let go of? Good. On your next inhale, tense your fingertips like spider legs. Lift up halfway. And then start to walk your hands to the top of the mat. Pivot your feet into your lunge. And then plant your hands. Send your right leg to plank. From here, you can go through one of those flows, or you can skip it and press back to down dog. Either one is fine. But at this point, we're pretty warm. So if you need to skip one of those flows, just meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe your left leg high and back. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. If you want movement, take it. If you prefer stillness, find it. Re-square hips, bring knee into chest, look forward. Left foot between your thumbs, back heel drops. Your next inhale is a warrior two. Your right arm guides you up. Now I'm just going to turn so you can see me. You stay where you are. On your exhale, adjust your stance. Front thigh more parallel to the mat. Tailbone heavy. Fingers reach away. Shoulder blades drip down your back. Good. Now look forward. Inhale and reverse left arm up and over your ear. Exhale, elbow down to thigh. Top arm up and over your ear. Extended side angle. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now let's hang out here for a bit. Rotate your chest to the side of the mat. Press down firmly into your back heel. Pinky finger reaches up and overhead, best to your shoulder's ability. Press down firmly into your feet. Engage your legs. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come on back. Warrior two. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg. All 10 toes point forward again. Then shorten your stance by footprint. Heels in, toes out. Sit down into your hips. Rest your hands on the tops of your legs and sway side to side. Good. Use this movement to check in with how your hips and low back are doing tonight. Every day is different based on what you did the day before. Good. When you come back to center, let the tailbone drop and reach the crown of your head up. Now keep the length in your spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, dip your right shoulder forward, gaze to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder forward, gaze to the right. Inhale, come back to center, let your hands come to your heart. Exhale, splash up and straighten your legs. Back heel drops. Toes to the front of your mat, warrior two, inhale. Exhale, sweep down to lunge, left leg to plank. You can go through that vinyasa flow or kindly press back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for your exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Good. Now walk your feet wide to the edge of your mat. Heels and toes down. You're going to sit down into your hips and bring your hands down like you're a frog about to hop away. Good. Now, we're going to work our way into a yogi squat. But first, let's go ahead and add a little movement here. Any movement will do. Just kind of swaying side to side, getting back into those hips and checking out if there's any little spots that feel stuck or sticky. Then when you come back to center, bring a prop underneath your sitting bones, and we're going to hang out here in our yogi squat. Hands come to heart. Press your thumbs in towards your sternum, and then use your elbows to gently press your legs away. Good. Sitting bones get heavy on your prop as crown of the head reaches up. Plant your left hand down, twist your right arm open. Come back to center. Plant your right hand down, twist your left arm open. Come back to center. Good. Bring your hands down to the mat. Hips go high, and then you're going to walk your feet in. Good. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold and release. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale and reach right leg high and back. On your exhale, bring your knee into your chest, look forward. Now you're going to bring your right knee to the inside of your right wrist, and the left leg is going to scoot back for pigeon. Now, first of all, to get into this, you want to curl your left toes, lift up your left leg, and just shift back and forth a few times. You want to ease into this one gently. When you bring your foot flat again, if your right hip hovers quite a bit, place a prop underneath your right sitting bone. Tense your fingertips down to get length in your spine, and take a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, you're going to start to walk your fingertips forward and come on down. Bring all of your awareness to your right hip. You might even notice, again, little pockets that feel closed or stuck. Send your breath there. What can you soften? What can you let go of? And take one more inhale. On your exhale, walk your fingertips back, lift up your chest. If you have your right hip supported, scoot that prop over to the side. Drop the right hip and swing the left leg forward. So you're ending up with your right foot to the inside of your left leg. And then grab your prop, whatever you're using for your yoga strap. Loop it around the bottom of your left foot. Give yourself nice tall spine by creating slack on the strap. Sitting bones down, crown of the head up. Take a nice deep breath in. Keep that length. Exhale, start to fold over your left leg. Good. Now to deepen, walk your hands up the strap. You don't have to use the prop. You can simply bow forward if you prefer that. You can always keep a soft microbend to the left knee, but consider the left hamstring your anchor. You're gently pressing the left hamstring down while still keeping the soft microbend to the left knee. Go ahead and let your spine round here. Notice where you're holding your stress. Is it the back of your neck? Is it the space between your shoulder blades? Is it your low back? Is it your hips? And just try to release the tension by staying with your breath. One more inhale. Slowly on the exhale, walk your fingertips back, lift up. Nice. Give your legs a little shake. And then we're going to do all that over on the other side. Make your way to hands and knees however you're comfortable doing so. And from tabletop, you're going to go ahead and find downward facing dog. Hips go high, thighs press back. Inhale and breathe, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward. Now the left knee to the inside of the left wrist. Right leg goes long. Keep the right toes curled. Lift up the leg. You should back and forth a few times. And then when you bring your foot back down, if the left hip hovers quite a bit, support it with your prop. Good. Tent your fingertips and look forward on your inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward. And as you come into this side, the left side might feel different than the right. That's okay because we're not perfectly symmetrical human beings and we tend to have a tighter, stronger side versus a more flexible side. Always modify for the tighter, stronger side. You don't want to muscle or force, but use your props to make the pose more accessible. Use your breath and patience to open up. You take one more inhale. On your exhale, walk your fingertips back and lift up. Remove your prop if you're using one. Roll over onto the left hip and swing the right leg forward. Good. So left sole of the foot to the inside of right leg. Loop your strap around the ball of your right foot and then lengthen spine. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, start to fold over your right leg. You don't have to use the prop to. It's just there to make the pose more accessible. And then there's a soft micro bend to your right knee. Let the left knee fall open best to its abilities. Curl your right toes towards your right knee. So you're not only stretching the back of your leg, but you're getting your calf muscle and the arch of your foot as well. And one more inhale. Slowly on the exhale, start to walk your fingertips back, lift up your chest. You can remove your prop. Give your legs a little shake. And if you had tension in your low back or your hips with that one, it might feel nice to windshield wiper your knees back and forth. That's a really good release for that area of your body. Good. And then go ahead and take a seat. We're going to come down to our backs from here. And I want you to bring your prop where you might be able to reach it. And then one of your yoga blocks. And then one of your yoga straps, whatever you're using in lieu of it. Come all the way down to the floor. And once we get all the way down, take a nice good morning stretch. Reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes. Circle your wrists, circle your ankles. Find some length on your side body. And then you're gonna place your hands down by your side and bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Start to walk your feet back until your middle fingers can brush up against your heels or as close as you can get. And then we're gonna add a pulse in this shape. So on your next inhale, press down into your feet, lift your hips, sweep your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, hips and hands lower to the mat slowly, like you're moving through mud. And then as soon as they reach the mat again, your next inhale takes you up. So now you're on your own breath. You might not look like me, and that's okay. Your exhale lowers you down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Keep going. Notice that when you inhale, you get a nice stretch to the front of your hips and legs. When you exhale, there's a sense of grounding as your hips and hands reach the floor. Wherever you are, do one more round. That last inhale sweeps you open. That last exhale lowers you slowly to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. And when your hips and your hands reach the mat, pause. Locate one of your block. Place it in between your legs, with it closer to your pubic bone than your knees. On your next inhale, press down into your feet and lift your hips. On your exhale, squeeze your legs into your prop. Good. You want to keep your legs strong and engaged here. That's why we're using this block. You can rest your hands by your side. You can interlace your fingers at the small of your back for more of a stretch to the front of your chest and shoulders. And then one final option, you can come up to your tippy toes. The pose will change a little bit because you have to engage different muscles. You keep your block in place. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat, and when your hips reach the mat, pause. Remove your block, but keep it in your hand. You're going to lift your hips and place your prop to your low back. Supported bridge. Good. Now, as you come into this one, if you have tension in your low back and your hips, walk your feet wider to the edge of your mat. That'll give your low back a little space. Once you're finally in the pose, there's not much more for you to do than breathe because you've got the block supporting you. So notice how grounding the pose is. You can feel your feet press down into the mat. You can feel your hips get heavy on your prop. Feel your shoulder blades spread and widen beneath you. And then the back of your head, the base of your skull, gently supported by the floor and by your mat. All right, now start to hug your right knee to your chest. Snuggle it in as close as is comfortable for you. It might feel nice to point and flex your right foot, circle out your right ankle. Just get into your joints. And then straighten the left leg. Feel the left heel slide across your mat. And kick it forward with a little purpose. Like there's a wall in front of your heel you're trying to kick. It might feel nice to bring your knee, your right knee out to the side a bit more and then hug it back in. It might feel nice to just keep it at center. Just play around with it. There's really no right or wrong, just what feels best in your body. And you know that better than I do. All right, take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend both knees, both feet are flat, and we'll just swap sides. Left knee in, point and flex the left foot, circle out the left ankle. Take any movements here that you require to get into the joints. Then straighten the right leg, feel the right heel slide across the mat. Kick it forward with a little purpose and continue to hug the left knee in. Maybe for a deeper stretch, you take the knee out to the side and you pull it back in. Maybe you just keep it at center. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, both feet are flat, both knees are bent. Make sure that the block is supporting your hips and low back. And then start to hug your knees in towards your chest. And then lift your legs up towards the ceiling. But this is our inversion. This is waterfall. If you feel Wobbly on your block, just hug it for support. And just allow that sense of calm to wash over you. The one that comes from reversing your blood flow like this. And now float your right foot down to the floor. Allow your other foot to follow. When both feet are down, lift the hips, scoot your prop off to the side. And as your hips come down to the mat, give your knees a little squeeze. It might feel nice to rock side to side here. Good. Maybe you draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet. Any little movements to give your low back a massage. Knees will stay into chest, arms come out to the side. And you're going to drop your knees to the left for a twist. Good. Arms are out to the side like a T, and your right shoulder blade is your anchor to the pose. Gently press it down to the mat, even if it doesn't touch all the way. It'll give you a sense of grounding. Gaze starts up at the ceiling. It can stay there. Gaze can go away from your knees towards your right thumb. You choose what feels best on your neck. Take one more inhale. Exhale through center, drop the knees to the right. Now your left shoulder blade is the anchor. Gaze where your neck feels best. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly bring your knees through center. Give them a little squeeze. You can do knees to chest again, or you can take a happy baby. So for happy baby, grab for the sides of the feet with your hands and pull your hips down in the direction of the floor. Either one, you can still add those movements. Maybe if you're in happy baby, you straighten your legs one at a time. Maybe you do both legs. Just be playful here. These are your final movements before we set up for our final pose, our rest pose. And very slowly release your feet down to the mat. Soles of the feet together, knees fall open wide. Bring your hands to your belly, below your belly button for this one. Stay connected to the breath by feeling it. You might notice when you inhale, your belly rises underneath your hands. When you exhale, your belly lowers and relaxes. You just notice what you notice, feel what you feel. There's no right, there's no wrong. Take your hands to the outside of your knees. Gently close your knees together. And then the legs are going to go long, and we're going to set up for our final pose, our rest pose. You want to take a moment and shift your hair, your body, your clothes. Get as comfortable as you can in this position. Feel how the mat and the floor supports your body. Let your body rest into that support. And also let go of any control you have over your breath. Just return to your natural and spontaneous breath. The breath that enters and leaves your body without any kind of an effort. If you have more time to devote to rest pose, I recommend another 5 to 10 minutes here. But if you're ready to come out, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Sway your head from side to side. Bring your knees in towards your chest and roll all the way over to your left or your right side. Pause there. Use the strength of your top arm to press up to a seat. And as you come up to seated, bring the palms of your hands together, press your thumbs into your sternum, and feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care.